All right, so today we're doing phase change worksheets, and you can see that this is a phase change diagram. And we know that from here, this is supposed to be solid. This is going to be where it starts to melt. B is the melting point. C to D is where it's a liquid. D is going to be the evaporating point or vaporization point. And then by the time you get to E, it should be in the gas phase. If you went backwards, it would be the opposite. Gas, plateau, liquid, plateau, solid. So you are going to answer this using the word bank below, and they can be used more than once, and some might be not used at all. So at point A, at the beginning of observations, the substance exists in a solid state. Material in this phase has definite volume and definite shape. With each passing minute, heat is added to the substance. This causes the molecules of the substance to move more rapidly, which we detect by a temperature rise in the substance. I just put temp to have room. At point B, the temperature of the substance is, temperature is on the y-axis, so it is 70 degrees Celsius. It's between 60 and 80, 70. The solid begins to melt. At point C, the substance is completely melted or in a liquid state. Material in this phase have definite volume and indefinite shape. The energy put to the substance between minutes 5 and 9 was, so from 5, which is here, to 9, which is here, was used to convert the substance from a blank to a blank. What states did we go from and to? We went from a solid to a liquid. This heat energy is called the latent invisible heat of fusion. Between 9 and 13 minutes, so 9 and 13 minutes, so from here to here, the added energy increases the temperature of the substance. During the time from point D to point E, the liquid is, so we're going from D to E, the liquid is going to be changing, so it's going to be evaporating. But if you look down here, evaporation is not one of those words. But if you look, doesn't this word vaporize kind of look like evaporation? So we're going to put vaporized. By point E, the substance is completely in the next phase would be gas phase. Material in this phase have indefinite volume and indefinite shape. The energy put to the substance between 13, so here's 13, and 18 minutes converted the substance from a blank to a blank. So we went from a liquid to a gas state. This heat energy is called the latent heat of vaporization. By point E, the substance is still in the gas phase, but the molecules are moving. Remember, gases move super fast, so they're moving faster, as indicated by the increasing temperature. So as temperature increases, so does movement. Now at the bottom, which of these three substances was likely used in this phase change experiment? So we have below neon, where it says melting point. So the melting point is going to be where it went from a solid to a liquid. That's going to be point B. And then we're looking at the boiling point, where it started to go from a liquid to a gas, which is point D. So we're looking for this temperature. So at point B, if you go over, it is between 60 and 80, so that's 70. And then we have point D. If you follow point D over, it says 140. So the only one that it can be is fusium. Now, if you have a printer, please print this out and put it into your notebook as a set of notes. If you do not have a printer, I would just kind of draw the graph like a rough diagram, and I would point out where it's a liquid, where it's a solid, and where it's a gas, and also where that melting point and freezing point are. So basically just draw it, put those little points on there, and let me get a paper and I will demonstrate. So if you do not have a printer, what I would draw is something like this. Okay, so this is A, this is B, this is C, this is D, this is E. Okay, so from here to here, from A to B, it is a, messing up already, it is a solid. At B, this is your melting point. Starting from C to D, it's going to be a liquid. And at D, this is your boiling point. And then E and on is your gas state. So the page is going to, even in your notes, if you are putting in the paper, if you're putting this paper in, the name of it is phase change diagram. So that's the name of the page in your notebook. So if you have a printer, put in this one. If you do not have a printer, copy this into your notebook, okay? So I hope this helps and gives you the correct answers.